So this past weekend, comedian Tony Hinchcliffe took the stage at one of the biggest and most significant Trump rallies ever held. But instead of playing the crowd with a few warm-up jokes before Trump took the stage, Tony chose to go on the attack, referring to Puerto Rico as a floating island of garbage.
You know, there's a lot going on. Like, I don't know if you guys know this, but there's literally a floating island of garbage in the middle of the ocean right now. Yeah. I think it's called Puerto Rico.
Along with saying that Latinos have way too many children.
And these Latinos, they love making babies, too. Just know that. They do. They do. There's no pulling out. They don't do that. They come inside, just like they did to our country.
He also invoked several racist stereotypes.
All right. Heck yeah. It's a cool black guy with a thing on his head. What the hell is that? A lampshade? Look at this guy. I'm just kidding. That's one of my buddies. He had a Halloween party last night. We had fun. We carved watermelons together. It was awesome. You guys are... This is a groany little morning crowd, huh? When it comes to Israel and Palestine, we're all thinking the same thing. Settle your stuff already. Best out of 3. Rock, paper, scissors. You know the Palestinians are going to throw rock every time.
And of course, the clip of Tony spread like wildfire online. Like it was absolutely everywhere. Even mainstream political figures weighed in on it, like the vice presidential candidate, Tim Walz.
Who is that jackwad? Who is that guy?
Actually, I think that's Tony Hinchcliffe, which is super disappointing. He's a comedian.
People in Puerto Rico are citizens. They pay taxes and they serve in the military at almost a higher rate than anybody else.
The things that they do in Puerto Rico are a testing ground for the policies and the horrors that they wish to, and that they do unveil in working class communities across the United States. And I need people to understand that when you have some a-hole calling Puerto Rico floating garbage, know that that's what they think about you. That's just what they think about you. It's what they think about anyone who makes less money than them. It's what they think about the people who serve them food in a restaurant. It's what they think about the people who fold their clothes in a store. Like,
you're
dude,
right.
Are you serious? Are you serious?
Yeah, the privilege of being on this campaign is traveling across the entire country. There are hundreds of thousands of Puerto Ricans in battleground states that need to send them a message on this.
I want them to
gotta vote.
Roll that. I want everyone in Philadelphia to see that clip. If you live in Philly, why don't you go and see that clip?
Like Tony was getting eaten alive on social media. And you'd think that maybe he'd try to walk it back or offer some kind of apology. But Tony's response just made things worse for him. Like he put out a tweet that basically doubled down on his comments saying, "I love Puerto Rico and vacation there." Like, really? That's the defense he went with? Just because you have nice Puerto Rican housekeepers when you vacation there doesn't give you the green light to bash that culture's entire existence. And also, Puerto Rico might not have electoral votes in presidential elections, but there are massive Puerto Rican populations in key swing states. Places like Florida, Pennsylvania, North Carolina, Wisconsin, and Michigan. And we're talking about states that could very well decide the election. So when you've got a comedian up there bashing Puerto Ricans a week before voters head to the polls, it's a PR disaster. And the ripple effect could also be enormous. Like, I'd find it so funny if Tony tanked Trump's entire campaign with his comedy. Like, he wouldn't be remembered for the roast of Tom Brady or his super viral episodes of Kill Tony. Instead, he'd be forever remembered as the D-bag who costed Donald Trump the election. And the reach of this controversy didn't stop with the political crowd. Even BadBunny, the Puerto Rican megastar, caught wind of it, as he posted his support for Kamala Harris on his Instagram story not long after seeing Tony's comments.
There is so much at stake in this election for Puerto Rican voters and for Puerto Rico. And this election is not just a choice between Donald Trump and me. It is a choice between two very different visions for our nation. One, his, focused on the past and on himself, and the other ours, that is focused on the future and on you. Puerto Rico is home to some of the most talented, innovative, and ambitious people in our nation. And Puerto Ricans deserve a president who sees and invests in that strength.
And now, if you know anything about BadBunny, he's got a stranglehold on the Latino community. Like, his influence is massive. Like, think of it like Taylor Swift's grip on suburban white moms, except maybe even stronger. And the fact that he's now siding against Trump in direct response to what Tony said could have a serious impact on Latino voters. So this whole thing has turned into an absolute mess for Tony. And this time, Tony may have truly stuck his foot in his mouth. Now, if you followed Tony at all, you'd know this isn't exactly new territory for him. He's known for saying controversial things, and quite frankly, a lot of people expect that from him. But here's the problem. Delivering those kinds of jokes at a presidential rally wasn't the best move. Like for the average guy who doesn't know who Tony Hinchcliffe is or his brand of comedy, it looked terrible. This wasn't just another comedy club where you could laugh it off and forget about it. This was a stage shared with a former president and a crowd of politically charged individuals. So when Tony made jokes about Puerto Rico being a trash island, it didn't just seem edgy. It came off as racially insensitive, especially when tied to the context of a political rally. And in the eyes of the general public, this wasn't just some random comic making off-colored remarks. Like it looked like Trump had brought a close ally of his on stage to voice these opinions.
Normally, I don't make my political beliefs a known thing. It's divisive for a comedian to do that, but just know I sleep well at night knowing who I'm voting for. Yeah. When I lay down and my head hits my pillow, it is a fantastic pillow, by the way. I was staying at Four Seasons up by Central Park one night, and I laid my head down, and it felt so good, and I thought to myself, what an pillow. I have a little bit of money now. I could buy a good pillow. And I took the pillowcase off, and there it was. My pillow, my pillow, my pillow. And damn it, I bought 4 of them. And if you use the promo code KILLTONY, you can also buy 4 My Pillows. There's serious stuff happening, people. I live in the great state of Texas now. 18 years in Ohio, 20 years in California, and I got to see California turn to absolute horrendous thing. And traveling the world, I got to see San Francisco turn into one of the most demented cities, one of the greatest downfalls I've ever seen. And that is where the other candidate worked for 2 decades. And it's absolutely wild to see. And in Texas, stuff is really, really crazy. We're right there by a wide open border. Where are my proud Latinos at tonight? You guys see what I mean? It's wide open. There's so many of them. It's absolutely incredible. Believe it or not, people, I welcome migrants to the United States of America with open arms. And by open arms, I mean like this.
Anyways, guys, that's pretty much it for the video, and if you made it this far, make sure to let me know in the comments what you think of this entire situation. And as always, thanks for watching.